All right, we should be live. Let's do this. So we're here again with another turn resolution. You know the drill by now, so I won't bore you. Let's just get right into it. So, Luigi, why don't you and I work on the Americans on the beaches first? That'll be probably the simplest, since I don't think any of the American regimental commanders actually ordered themselves to land on the beach. Yeah, none of them did. Okay, so let's just work our way down. 16th Infantry Regiment here of the 1st ID. Continue with the original plan, which was take Quenneville and then move towards here. So they're probably going to, they're going to assail the town. So these guys are moving up, and these guys are moving up. There ain't too much they can do. That's just all they got. All right, and then 18th Infantry Regiment is probably the same. No new orders. Yeah, so they are going to move forward to try and assist their comrades. In fact, they're going to move up like so. Okay. And then 26th isn't super duper involved. They're already down here. So let's roll for this quick. So the Rangers, or not the Rangers, the Americans are going to be D10s, and so are the Germans. Now let's take a quick look at the 914th Grenadier Regiment, who's facing them. Men in a second, no, okay, no new orders. So his artillery. This artillery is going to be shelling the beach. So I'm going to get a couple D4s for it. Oh, wait, what caliber? 105, yep, okay. So one battery up here, one battery down here. And so that's going to be assisting these guys and probably these guys. All right, let me just add that as a modifier to their die roll. And let's get this show on the road. Actually, Luigi, if you want to start doing the 101st Airborne.
Yeah, where are they?
So the guys in and around Saint-Mary-Église, you want to be looking for 327th Glider, 502nd Parachute Infantry, and 501st.
Stop putting their orders in text on the map.
And the Germans facing them are going to be 915 and 916 Grenadier regiments, as well as 1057 Grenadier. Okay, so the 4 plus 5 is 9. Both of these guys rolled 10s. Holy cow. Okay, so this guy takes 1 damage. And he's going to be forced back into the town. And so these guys are going to be off the beach. They are now in the town. 10-4. I'm going to give this guy 3 damage since it's a long-range fight. But he's going to back out as well. He's going to back down this way. And so the Americans have now forced their way off that beach. And so now all of these guys are taking some damage. That's going to be that. Okay, now we look over here. 7, 9. Yeah, okay. So the flanking fire. Yeah, so it's 2 damage. And he's going to fall back this way. So these guys are going to move in like that. And so 6-7, he's taking 1 damage. And 7-4, he's taking a fair bit. He's taking 3 damage. Puts him up to 4. Okay. Then over here, 10 and a 9 against a 10 because of the +2 from the bunker. So this is an even fight. So 1 damage So they made their way up the beach now, and they're engaging the bunker directly. And so far, they're putting down some suppressing fire. Holy cow. Okay. So. All right. I already resolved these guys. So cool. I can now redraw some of these lines. All right. So I need red first. Get that pen way down. That's a little awkward. Okay. One. Yep. Hoop. And hoop. Okay. Excellent. And now I draw the blue line. Okay. The Americans have made it off the beach in that sector. First ID performing well, as is expected from them. Okay. Big red one. Represent. Let's go. Okay. So, now we're moving down the beach towards whatever this hamlet's supposed to be called. Doesn't have a name on the map. That's unfortunate. Okay. And this is the one where everybody is just confused because they all landed off target. Okay, so that's going to be the 26th. All right, so their orders are confusing to me. So the battalion commander is just going to follow his instincts, which is probably what he was going to do anyway. So these guys' main objective at the moment is to get off the beach. And so that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and take out this bunker system here. And they don't have that far to go. So they're going to start coming up on it, giving it its comeuppance. Actually, probably these guys would do something kind of like this. They'd probably swap out. They'd be like, oh, okay, all right, we'll go with my guys. All right, and then some companies with some armor going up to try and take this thing out. All right. So in fact, these guys can probably, yeah, they're probably pressing all the way up here. And which regiment is this going to be? 12th, 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 12th. Where's, oh, this 12th. Yeah, okay, all right. So he's going to be helping out. Whew. Stuff like this happens, man. All right. Let's put some dice down. So those tanks in general are probably just D12s. Yeah, I'll say that. Okay, so 12, 12. Or actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give the tanks a D4 modifier on the infantry. And so when I roll these D10s.
Me and CT, we were doing D12s with just a flat advantage.
Right. But I'm doing this for tanks working in unison with infantry, whereas those tanks, both in Saint-Mary-Église and in Carentan, were kind of operating as like a tank company rather than tanks supporting infantry, which is what's happening here.
Okay.
So both are valid. You know, it just depends on the situation, right? This isn't like a this isn't like a repudiation of the way you and CT are doing it. This is in fact just, you know, I think this is a different kind of circumstance, right? So I'm just resolving it in a different way. Okay, so 10 plus 3. Oh, I should have rolled for the Germans. That's important, isn't it? Okay, plus 2 for the bunker. Yikes! That is a terrible result, ladies and gentlemen.
What did they roll?
A 1 and a 2, respectively.
Let's go.
So this bunker complex has just been. I mean, this is. Look, like facing all of this bunker complex probably didn't stand a chance. But seeing that roll, yeah, these guys, 6th Company and 5th Company of the 915th Grenadier Regiment have utterly disgraced themselves and have been courteously invited to the dead pile, though I'm going to put them as surrendered first. So now I just need to put 1 damage on all of these American units. Yeah, the lowest American roll was a 6. So it was only going to go one way.
Must have been like Czech conscripts or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, these aren't. That's the funny thing. I guess they just were wimps, you know. Yeah. Surrendered.
Oh, it was a regular Grenadier regiment, not a Fortress Grenadier regiment.
Oh yeah, no, it was regular Grenadiers that rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh God!
So they were rolling D10s just like the Americans, but
oh no,
they just got really unlucky. I guess their machine guns jammed or something, right? You know, it just really bad. You know, it did not go well for them. You know, and so now the Americans are the proud owners of this bunker complex and a few hundred German POWs. So, yeah, that's how it works out sometimes, you know? So I'm going to throw this guy over here, and then 8th Regiment is probably going to establish a perimeter. And just because I have OCD, no, I don't, but I kind of do. Abel Baker, Charlie Dog. Okay. And then 741st, 741st. Yeah, okay. Order. Yep, so these guys are all operating alongside 8th Infantry Regiment, so. Yeah, so. Yeah, I'm just going to invite these Germans courteously to the dead pile. Just unilaterally. I'm not even going to show it on the board. I'm just going to put them there. Doop. All right. Because for as ambitious as this game is, I don't want to simulate the Americans and British having to guard POWs. You know? Like, we're just tracking the frontline combat units, right? You know, so I don't want to do that. Okay. Yeah. There's one more little bunker resolution I need to resolve for.
Oh, but Carter, we could do partisan actions.
Oh God. Oh no. Oh no. This is just uncalled for. Okay. All right. 7, respectable. 2 of these guys rolled a 9, so I'm gonna put that as 3 damage. And the Americans have now surrounded this bunker complex. But fittingly, the units on either side have completely gotten through, and so they're now about to break in the backside here. But this 7, yeah, that's no good against that 4, and against that 1.
Ouch.
That's going to be 6 damage to these guys, and they're going to go reeling back. They're still pinned down in the surf. They're like, oh my God, you know, it's the opening of Saving Private Ryan for these guys. They're not having a good time. They are not having a good time, ladies and gentlemen. Where did the German piece go? Oh, it's hiding in the middle of the bunker. Okay. All right. I was like, uh-oh. Okay. So then this guy. Das ist nicht gut. Those Americans are saying for some reason. I don't know why they're saying that. Oh, wait, that was a 9.
Oh,
Right. Yeah, because of the +2 from the bunker. So these Americans are getting off the beach, but they're taking 1 damage each. And that means that these Germans aren't taking 3, they're taking 1 damage. Okay, so this German bunker here, next to the town with no name, is putting in the work. You know, it's doing, I wouldn't say the Lord's work because it's, you know, the Nazis, but it's doing something.
They are doing the work of the Volk.
Yeah, the people's work, the Volkswerk. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. That's that then. So, all in all, a pretty decent result. A spectacular result for the 8th Infantry Regiment. They're going to get a awesome report. Their guys are going to be like, "Sir, we just crushed them." And they did. You know, that's so it's not going to be hyperbole. All right. And now the last
everything that comes out of the Air Force's mouth. So.
Right. Both in World War II and today. Wait, what? No. Okay, so these guys are going to go make their move on this bunker complex here, and we'll see how it works out. So that's a 105 millimeter battery, or 75, I should say. Oh, 75 and 105. But that's Panzerjägers. Yep, that's right. That's why. Okay, so 105 mil is supporting it. So that plus a D10 for the roll. And then these 4 American companies. Who do you think's going to win? Let's see. Oh, jeez. We've seen the Germans do better in worse odds, so 10 plus 2, so that's a 12. The Americans can't roll that physically. I'm going to give them a +2 just because of their numbers. +1. So that's a 9, 8, 3, and a 4. Oof. Versus 12. Okay, so
the Americans rolled really well, but they got screwed.
3 versus 12 is 9 damage. That puts them up to 10. So these guys are routed. And
on
now
the
they
beach?
are a D8. Yes.
Oh God.
So they moved up the, well, no, theoretically they just routed into the ocean. Yeah. So those guys not doing so well. 4 against 12, that's 8. So these guys are up to 9 damage and are also now sitting in the surf getting raked by machine gun fire. 8 against 12 is 4. So these guys are taking 4 damage. So they're having trouble getting up the beach. And then 9 against 12 is 3 damage. So he's up to 4. And they're also not doing so hot. Meanwhile, the Germans, just like in Saving Private Ryan, you know, they're having to switch barrels on their MG42s because they're getting so hot. But you know, they're killing lots of Americans, so seems to be going pretty well for them. The 22nd Infantry Regiment is not a bright spot today, ladies and gentlemen, for the American landing forces. It is not going well for them. Okay. So, that is all of the beach landings in this sector, except for the Rangers. Let's see about them. All right, so if I go to the Rangers here, their orders channel. Okay, all of 5th regroup and hold the causeway against incoming reinforcements. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, so
okay.
These guys are already engaged, so they're committed. But these guys are now all ordered to turn around and hold the causeway against the reinforcing enemy. So let's take a look at 914 Grenadier. I think they've been just ordered to counterattack. So then I need to look at 709th, 752 Grenadier. Yeah. Okay. He hasn't given any orders. So they're just going to be working under the instructions of 914. which are so far nothing. Okay. So they're going to be happy with retaking Saint-Vaast, and they are now going to be shoring up their defensive position in Saint-Vaast. They can see the massive amount of enemy commandos, as they would think of them. And so they are happy to get into create loopholes, firing positions, smash out windows to put machine guns in, all of that in Saint-Vaast, and that is going to be a tough nut to crack. Speaking of tough nuts, second company here refuses to die. Let's see if that changes this turn. At this point, I think the Americans have now infiltrated the bunker system, and so are now going to be running through it and just clearing room to room. So now we are going to roll only a +1 advantage for the German defenders. They're probably now calling in danger close artillery fire onto their position. After all, they're in a bunker. The Americans are not. So now we're going to add 2 artillery batteries to their dice roll. That doesn't seem right. That just seems like I'm doing the dice wrong, even though that's what the rules technically say. How do I do this? Just artillery damage applies. That's what I'm going to do. It's not going to add to their dice roll at all, but artillery damage will apply. Okay, and wham. Here we go. All right, so a 12 against a 7. Yeah, so these guys are taking... Jeez. So that's going to be 5 damage. I'm going to put it up to 6, so I'm going to give these guys 8 damage. And with these guys out rolling them, it's not looking good. 3 against 7, that's 4 more damage, so they're up to 9. Then this guy gets put up to 4. This guy up to 4. And this guy up to 3. In fact, at this point, now I need to distribute this damage. So I'm going to put this guy up to 10. And then this guy up to 6. This guy 1 each. So 4, 5. And at this point, if I'm the Germans, well, hold on. We're gonna roll a D10 for this, because the commander of the 914th has decided to give an inspiring speech to his men over the radio. Men of the second company, you have all done the fatherland proud. If you must sell your lives, do so at a dear cost to the enemy. Those still capable of slipping away towards Saint-Vaast, i.e. none of them, to meet up with elements of the defenders are allowed to do so to carry on the fight for the fatherland. This fight is far from over, gentlemen. So we're going to roll 6 or greater. They stay. Lower than that, they surrender. They stay. Okay, so it's going to take one more turn for the Americans to root out this stubborn defense. The men of Second Company, indeed, all of them deserve medals. One of the bright spots for the Germans this day is the Second Company of the 914th Grenadier Regiment of their Ost Battalion. Actually, no, sorry, the Second Company of the Ost Battalion of the 352nd Infantry Division, not of the 914th Grenadier Regiment. This is a very interesting time, I must say, for the Rangers. So then I need to draw their new front line.
Okay. Oh my god. Why are you giving orders to those units? You acknowledge in the orders they aren't landing yet. Oh my god.
All right. Then let's move on here. How's it going, Luigi, with the 101st and
I've put out orders for all the 101st units. I'm looking at the 82nd now.
Ah, okay.
I'm
Cool.
I'm holding off on doing the Germans because I don't want to confuse it with since all the text will be in the same color.
Got it.
So I figured I'd do all the allies.
Okay.
Or
All
at least
right.
I'll write out all the allies' orders.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, so are to move through.
At this time, I would like to invite the stream to ask any questions that they might have or throw any comments about the heroic actions both on the American part and these poor Czechs and Poles of the Ostbattalion who are doing their darndest to fight the enemy.
Unlike those cowardly German regulars. So.
Right? Exactly. I mean, so, they're putting 915 Grenadier Regiment to shame. They really are, Those guys were 2 companies. Now, they were being attacked by armor, but these guys are being attacked by
I assume
Rangers.
this is some kind of bridge on the River Kwai thing, where the Poles are like, "Oh, we'll show the Bosch how a real soldier fights."
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, men, let's defend the fatherland.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe they're just too afraid with the threats from their German officers, pointing a Luger in their back, right? But I suspect that at that point they'd probably just turn around and start shooting their officers. So I already rolled for it, but almost certainly next turn. I mean, they're going to rout anyway, and that just means they're going to surrender. So, barring some extremely unlikely circumstance, they're pretty much just going to surrender, I think, next turn. But they have been a pain in the butt for these Rangers. These Rangers they got here at 0400 and it is 0630, and they still have not taken out this one bunker. Yeah. So it's been 2.5 hours that these Czechs have been holding on. It reminds me of the Czech Legion, right? In World War I, going down the Trans-Siberian Railway trying to get the heck out of Russia. Right? So Czechs have something of a reputation. Just their government didn't exactly hold it up in the Sudetenland crisis, but hey, it happens.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they didn't really have many options.
Well, neither do these guys in the bunker, but they're still fighting. But this is not an opportunity here that I'm going to take to riddle the Czech government of the 1930s as cowards. No. Just in an unfortunate circumstance. As are the men of this German company here, who are now surrounded on 3 sides by American paratroopers, who up until recently had standing orders not to take prisoners. But but now you can consider them lucky, because now most of them are going to get shot, but some of them might get taken prisoner. So
they're now under orders not to do war crimes. So
yeah. I think that's about how it is. Yeah. Funny how that changes, right? When what's funny is that the Germans were under the impression that we weren't allowing war crimes, but when they heard about the Americans, they were like, hold on, wait a minute. So, of course, we're not going to encourage war crimes. That's not what we do here. That's just a historical reality that the airborne had standing orders not to take any prisoners, which of course means that they weren't going to leave anyone alive.
And none of the players did anything, and we gave them a chance.
Right. We informed them of that. They could have countermanded that order, but they didn't.
Yeah. I mean, one of them literally saw it happen and didn't say anything.
Yep. They were only following orders, isn't that right? No. Save it for the judge. All right.
Right. So the the absolute dumpstering that this division is gonna take is continuing pace. So,
The third Fallschirmjäger, you mean?
yes,
Oof. Yeah,
I'm just
ladies and gentlemen, I wish you could see this other map of San Lo. I'll hopefully be able to pan over to it. One of the other sectors that we're umpiring today. It's not going well. I'm sure that you can explain, Germany.
yeah. I mean, the Germans in the far they had one sector where they had like pretty good rolls, but everything else sometimes they've had decent rolls, and the British have just had like stupid amazing rolls.
Mm.
But regardless, they're really screwed because they're fighting like company versus battalion, or two companies versus a battalion if they're lucky. And all of the and the I think the Allied players weren't expecting it to go this well. There are already division commanders talking about when can I land my artillery, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're like they're starting to get a little bit jubilant. You know, Berlin by Christmas is starting to come up, and we'll see if the Germans can make a response to that. It's
With what?
It's not looking good. I'll tell you that much.
Is the real question.
Now,
I mean,
I do need to roll a dice. I'll do it right now. Do I still have the big airborne dice? No, I don't.
is this for 21st Panzer?
This is for 21st Panzer. I need a D20. And I'm going to blow it up nice and big so that everybody can see it. Can't be missed. Wham, bam, shang-a-lang. Here we go. What are the odds? So Hitler now knows about it. That the invasion is happening. He's gotten multiple reports from Rommel and from OKH. Or OKW. Rommel is not only begging but pleading with him now. And so, sorry, I shouldn't have said Hitler knows. The Führer HQ in the Obersalzberg has been informed. And so now there's a anxious secretary in the radio room there, thinking about waking him up. And so does this person build the courage to go inform the Führer, wake him up, disturb his beauty sleep? It is only 6:30 in the morning, so it's pretty early. And sources report to me that he was up late partying last night. He was, there was a lot of alcohol served. It was bad. He's kind of tipsy. It was a little bit embarrassing. They had some foreign dignitaries over. It wasn't good. And so,
And they have
he, even if they wake him up, he might be in some kind of drunken stupor. Like, we don't know. And so this secretary is putting all this through her head. In fact, probably not a secretary, probably some kind of general, and he's just trying to weigh the odds. And so, I'm going to say on a 1 through a 5, he goes and builds up the courage to go talk to him and wake him up. And on a 1, Hitler immediately wakes up, says, do whatever Rommel wants, and then goes back to bed. So we'll see whether or not there is a great success or a great failure. That is a 9. So, in fact, this is very fitting, right? So the angel and the devil are on this guy's shoulder, and the angel's like, go wake him up, and the devil's like, 9. And so, then the German doesn't do it. He says no, 9. He's not doing that. So 21st Panzer stays put. Now, of course, the thing Rommel and the commander of the 21st Panzer Division haven't thought of is the idea of disobeying orders, direct orders from the Führer.
Why would you do that?
No, I mean, it would never cross a good soldier's mind to disobey orders. So clearly, they're going to stay in Cannes and not move anywhere because
It's not like they need anywhere.
if it's stupid but an order, it's an order, So they gotta follow through.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to wait at least another hour for the British to land their armor and get into a position. It's only fair.
No, of course you have to wait until you're completely screwed until you to justify actually disobeying orders, right? So that was always my policy. Is I have to wait for plausible deniability. So. But yeah, so that is how it's going, i.e., not very well. So now is time for a fun thing. So Rommel, before the game, actually elected to stay at his headquarters in France instead of going to visit his wife. So clearly, this is a really bad day for Rommel because, he's missed his wife's birthday, and so she's already filed for divorce. It's bad. And now he's getting invaded. And, on top of all this, I would like to point out where Rommel's his historical headquarters was. I was under the impression that it was near Paris. It was not. In fact, it is right here. I looked it up, cross-verified it, but his headquarters is a chateau right here, just a few miles away from the fighting. And so he's
Which
actually
is extremely Rommel thing.
Yeah. So
don't be like back where all of the command and control staff is, be out commanding some company,
Yeah, it's so it's not looking good for Rommel here, ladies and gentlemen. So he's organized his staff party to and I say staff party, it's more like a staff get together. But it's not much of a difference. So he's gotten a few armored cars together, and he is going to drive to the nearest regimental HQ, which happens to be the 1057th Grenadier Regiment in Etionville. So he's going to go right over here, and
oh really? He's not going to try to drive to. Not going to try to drive to Carentan?
No, he's not trying to drive to Carentan. I encourage you all to see the... What report was it? 0330? 0400? I forget. Around then, the Corps commander was driving to Carentan and actually managed to slip through a number of American roadblocks, or lack thereof, without getting killed. So that was another time. But this time Rommel is still operating behind his lines. But American paratroopers came within spitting distance, I tell you, of his headquarters. Less than a kilometer. Actually, just over a kilometer from his HQ.
Then Sam got there, and he was like, okay, guys, we need to attack. And then... because he's Sam Miller,
Right.
And then his subordinate commanders kind of blew him off because they had just gotten out of the town before it was turned into a replica of the moon by the 82nd Artillery.
Yeah, I heard rumors that in the 1960s, NASA actually used Carentan as a testing ground for the lunar rovers because the terrain was quite similar with the craters and the undulations in the terrain. It was really interesting when I read that. Just the sheer amount of artillery that is landing on Carentan at the moment has really turned it into a great testing ground for lunar vehicles. Yeah. One of those lesser-known facts about D-Day.
Yeah, and then when he got his screenshot, he asked, confused, are the units not attacking? Why are units in my presence not attacking? That's not how that's supposed to work.
I'm telling you, Sam is the Chesty Puller of Kriegsspielers, man. Chesty Puller got surrounded while he was in Korea. He got his report, and he said, there's Chinese on the left of us, Chinese in front of us, Chinese behind us, and Chinese on the right of us. Well, shoot, they're screwed now. We can't miss. So that is Sam Miller's philosophy.
In all directions.
Yeah, now we can shoot in all directions and not miss. So that is Sam Miller's command philosophy, and it's really paying off for him. You know, the 6th Fallschirmjäger Regiment has been fighting now an entire division and now parts of a 2nd division and is still intact miraculously and still holding Carentan even more so. So,
well, I mean, it is at half strength, and
yeah,
the half that is at strength is now pretty much encircled. But
yeah, encircled on 2 sides is what we call actually a peninsula. But you know, surrounded by enemy forces on 3 sides. But they're coming to close the trap, but then they're going to close the trap on them as well. It's going to be weird, ladies and gentlemen. You better come back to watch these next few reports. It's going to be intense around Carentan, whether or not the 6th Fallschirmjäger. That basically they're going to have another probably 2 reports to make the decision to pull out of Carentan or stay and die there. And if Sam Miller, the Corps commander, stays there any longer, he's going to get killed or taken prisoner by the American paratroopers. And so they might lose their Corps commander.
Assassinate an allied commander.
Yeah, and if Rommel doesn't get out towards Khan, then he might get trapped inside the pocket that the Allies are trying to create by cutting off the Carentan Peninsula. So they might bag Rommel as well. Of course, he might do some daring, like get inside a Focke-Wulf 190 near Cherbourg and then fly out, right? But, you know, they could bag 2 senior officers here. So it could be really interesting. Anyhow, CT, welcome.
Yeah, hi there.
We've been trying to keep the stream entertained. We got a fair number of folks, so thank you all for showing up.
There's a fair number of folks now? Jesus.
Yeah, like 7. Had 8 or 9 before.
Wow.
Yeah. It seems it seems people want to see the exploits of the glorious Sam Miller. Or, gosh, what is his name in game? Adolf Friedrich Kunzen. So, yeah, I mean, the escapades of his, you know, like when it's like that Top Gun opening, right? You know, where his exploits are legendary, you know, and Sam Miller just comes walking in a flight suit, right? You know, it's crazy. So, anyways, I already resolved the beach landings, so we're just plotting out the orders for the airborne at the moment. So you've came in at a perfect time.
I think I've done all of the American airborne orders.
Okay, cool.
If I change color, like, will that change the color of my text, or can I just do that so I can change color to start typing German orders?
Change color.
Yeah, will that change the color of the text I've already written?
Probably.
Should.
No, it did not. Okay, good. Alright, so now I will start doing German text, German orders in, I don't know, a different color.
All right.
I'm going to quickly do Grenadier Regiments 1057 and 1058 if you want to take care of the rest, Luigi.
Okay, where are 1057, 1058?
Oh, I'm taking care of those. You just need...
just indicate them so I know which ones
So,
I can ignore.
the guys I just highlighted, that's 1058. Do you see them?
The radio does not start working.
Just give me a map direction.
They're yeah. So those guys are 1058, and then 1057 are the guys around Rommel, west of the river.
Okay.
So everyone east of that river.
Sorry, real quick. Did you promote me?
Oh yeah, of course. Let me do that for both of you. I didn't realize I forgot to do that.
No, sorry.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So these guys are marching towards Carentan.
I like your idea of writing this stuff out. That's a good thought. If you had some prep time just to do that.
4.
I'm trying to remember. Was the 7-Eleven static, or was that just a
7-Eleven is static? Yes.
Oh, okay, so those were we were thinking D.
Typically, you know, these convenience stores don't move. So no, I don't take that personally, CT. That's just a...
What?
Okay.
Listen, man, I'm just off of work, so your snark is gonna have to like come down a few levels. So
I apologize.
So were they D8s? Were we?
Yes.
Sure
yeah,
about
they're
that?
gonna be D8s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Let me warm up for. Damn it, Carter.
Just like, just like when you get arrested, everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of public opinion.
Well, when you're streaming, apparently.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be one of the streamers, but here I am.
Yeah. It comes up.
Well-
it comes up on you like a surprise. It's.
Well,
crazy.
we do have our first combat to the east of Isigny.
Oh, the perimeter is getting attacked.
Yep. 5
So,
on 2.
what is that?
It's not going to be great.
325 glider is going to have a interesting report here.
Yep. So that's 2 on. Yeah, let's shift those over there. There we go.
Well,
It's not looking good.
wow, that was
2, 4,
the roll for the Allied
6,
radio to whether it work or not
8.
didn't work. That made it worse for the Germans.
Wait, so Allied radio failed, and that made it worse for the Germans.
Yes, because a battalion commander was marching off to do his original orders, and he was coming across an isolated German company, and his brigade had orders to change, and so last turn I decided to have a little fun and see if some radios wouldn't work, and this particular one didn't work. It continues to not work, and that has resulted in a German company getting encircled.
Yikes. That's no good.
Yeah.
So, not an auspicious start for the 711th Infantry Division.
Oh, those are not good rolls.
One company is already driven back en route, but much better on the other side, at least
That's
by
true.
one company.
Yeah, so Dog, Easy Company. Of course, it's Easy Company. Not the Easy Company that we all know and love, but an Easy Company.
Something about the Easy Company name.
Right. Yeah, and of course, that's just our modern bias. Easy Company was, nothing before D-Day. But
Yeah.
yeah, what's funny is I learned the other day, when they were supposed to attack the guns at Breakcore Manor, right? The regimental commander, the battalion commander, ordered them to take it because they were the assault company. They were trained to they would received extra training to take out positions just of that nature. Of course, he didn't realize the company, which is originally has an authorized strength of 100 guys, was only 12 people at the time, and
Right.
so when they attacked Breakcore Manor, he was thinking, oh, I've got this
8 dudes.
assault company, right? They can go, but it was only 12 guys. It wasn't even a platoon. So that makes it all the more remarkable, just that I wish I could have met him, Richard Winters. They still teach that action at West Point. So.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, is they still teach that action today as textbook assault,
Yeah, my goodness.
which is kind of shocking. Okay, well, so not going well for the Germans, but they do have what amounts to 4/5 of a regiment coming down this way with a whole divisional artillery section. So,
Yeah, I think it's
We'll see
going to
how that
turn
goes.
south for the 325th glider pretty quickly. And
Yep,
by when I say turn south, I mean quite literally. They're going to have to retreat south.
most likely, yeah.
Did you handle the 915th and 914th? I think you did, right?
Oh, wait, no, that's the 508th. Yeah, I handled the 915th and the 914th.
Oh, yeah, no,
916th?
I did not handle the 916th. Basically, what I need you need to check their orders for the 916 and 915, specifically regarding their QRFs, their quick reaction forces,
Right.
which are these guys west of the bridge or west of Summer Église.
Okay.
So when they mention QRF or whatever, that's
Yeah.
those guys.
is
Oh.
it possible to erase this text after we're done with it? Or...
Yeah, you just use
I
the text
can. I
tool
don't know if
and
you
then
can.
oh, right, okay.
Can you erase mine? Okay, good.
yeah, we can erase yours.
Proceed south. Okay.
Right.
Oh no. Well, okay. The the eighth Fallschirmjäger commander is not going to be happy about that one.
Uh-oh. You hate to see that.
Yeah. He fed in another unit to try to make a breakout.
Mm-hmm.
But the second wave just happens to be marching through there on its way to its objective. So
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Yikes. Just, it's all of these accidents, right? This is probably going to be a quotable line, but war is like painting. It's all about those happy little accidents, right? And it's
Bob Ross.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
916 is trying to contact his QRF by radio.
you can do that.
Should I just tell him he can do that?
I mean, yeah. Basically, I think
Is
what
he
that means is we're going to have to enter roleplay mode, where he's going to send them a radio message, and we're going to have to send one back.
I'll ping him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's those
Oh,
guys
God.
settled. 2.
Okay. And that seems like a reasonable, like, sort of
Gonna
march
quickly take care of some of
formation
this
for
7
what
and
they're
9 stuff.
trying to do. Yeah. We'd have, those 3 companies in line with one out to guard the flank.
What happened to 916's other artillery? He's also sending out runners to try to contact them. I know L is.
They're
Were they
finding. Okay, so in his report, you should include that they're finding some of these battery positions, basically covered in shrapnel, and all sorts of bodies lying around, both American and German, and clearly the entire crew is either dead or ran away from their guns, and the guns are destroyed
in combat with the paratroopers. Okay.
If only we had told you that in earlier reports.
Well, basically, they were jumped so quickly that they couldn't have.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is the first time he specifically sent out scouts and runners to go and find the batteries.
And he only tried contacting the batteries a couple turns ago when the landing started, and he only got a response back from one of them. So the Americans were surprisingly thorough in their destruction of the German artillery support. There's only one battery south of Montaberg of 105 millimeter guns that the Germans can use in the 352nd Infantry Division. So they really did a unintentionally good job of clearing house of the German artillery support. So,
and 915's orders to his QRF are still the same, that they're supposed to prepare to counterattack, awaiting the 191st's support.
there is no counterattack to prepare for when they're being attacked. So,
Well, I mean,
so
they
they're
are
basically
counterattack.
yeah.
Is what he means. But is the 91st? Who's the 91st?
The 91st, that would be these guys west of the river. And so they're not really doing anything. I'm going to actually...
So I guess his QRF is still holding.
Right. And at a certain point, they're either going to choose to counterattack on their own or with... or withdraw. Just retreat.
Okay,
right?
is that what they mean by Dawnville? Oh my god. I despise this.
What's Dongville?
Do they really is that their objective? That's literally 2 kilometers off the beach. That's what you changed your brigade's objective to? Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. guess that means that's gonna go there.
I forgot to give Grenadier Regiment 1057 an 0600 report. That's embarrassing. Yikes. Did I make that same mistake for 1058? I did. Yikes. Is all I have to say about that.
Yikers.
Oh, shall we
It
just
is
hold
indeed
off?
a yikes moment, especially now that Rommel has just arrived at 1057's HQ. You know, surprise in the middle of the night. Hello, it's Rommel. Oh, just, you know, welcome here. Let me show you around. You know, it's
Hey, sir. Okay. Let's see.
Well, you would hope that if that happened, that they're gonna, you know, ping us and go like, "Hey, what's happening?"
right.
You know.
Now, I'm a little bit late to the ball on reading this chat message, but I have been told about a sniper lottery. Once per turn, pick out of a hat a commander to get shot at by a sniper, and if they get one on a roll of the dice, they die.
Right.
So, you know, I think that this could be an
That's a good
applicable
idea.
system. Yeah. I mean, like, I'd have to write out all 94 commander names on a hat or on pieces of paper and then stick them in a hat. And I'd have to buy a comically sized top hat in order to actually, you know, do it right. So it would the logistics on that would be a bit difficult, but I think it could be managed. You know, as in I'm not going to do that. But sorry, that was a little rude. But
We're not killing off player characters like that at this level.
I mean,
Maybe
it would
if
make
we
our
were-
job easier, though. You know,
yeah.
we wouldn't have to send as many reports. Oh, sorry.
Battalion commanders, absolutely, you can do that. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah, I mean, for Italians, but you know, thankfully for the Germans, there aren't any Italians that they have to rely on here.
No, battalions.
Oh,
Italian.
oh.
Carter.
I just dissed the Italian army for no reason. Okay, well, you didn't
Yeah,
have to
what's
ask
wrong
me to
with you?
diss the Italian army. Sorry. I mean, like, come on, like, you know, really, it's their officers, right? You know, when the Germans were leading them, they fought like remarkably well, but you know,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't. Why does he? Okay.
Getting confused by
No,
orders
it's just
again?
like, yeah, no. I'm wondering why Colonel Sink thinks he has AT when
he doesn't. Oh, it's because he had AT and then it got
Over a third of his
requisitioned
guns
by
are
the
artillery.
divisional commander. Wait, that's AT.
Wait.
yeah, one AT, but he's saying AT to split up between the battalions and the others
Oh.
just artillery.
Yeah, he's only. Yeah, okay, all right. Well,
So it's like,
Clearly, Colonel
okay,
Sink is delusional.
I guess we're direct firing today, boys. I mean, you know, that's the
Delusional.
order, so they'll follow the order.
The regimental guns did have some heat rounds,
Right, no, obviously.
like 5.
It's just, it's very weird and they're not going to be able to do much there. And
I mean, do the Americans have tanks?
not these new
not in
paratroopers.
the area in
So
question.
yeah, the regimental guns direct firing will actually work fine.
So he's ordering. Man, I'm just confused by this order, just overall.
okay.
Well, if you're confused, then the battalion commanders are probably confused too.
Yeah, probably. So this bridge out of Carentan hasn't been blown yet, right? It's still good.
That's right. The northern bridges are fine.
Right. Oh, and no one's there to blow it,
No,
actually.
There
So,
are no defenses on the high tide arc.
so they'll actually. Yeah.
Be marching for another turn.
So, okay. Well, I was about to say interesting that he dispatches a company south of Carentan to get info. So this. Okay, so this company. Let's see how far it can go. So it's
probably going to have to ambush that AT company.
I was gonna say, yeah, it has to go through this, but it would have been funny, like, if it just like came around here and was like, oh, here's
stumbles
like
into the
a third of the Wehrmacht
Oh.
command just sitting in this house.
Oh.
That would have been funny.
Here's a fun screenshot that we're gonna take. I'm gonna take it and put it in the Umpire channel. Let's see if I can find it here, and we can show it to the stream. Yep. Okay. let's download that. Yep. And
I'm gonna rule that they don't quite find that flank, even though they did have the movement.
I'm gonna go ahead and do 916's report.
and so
What happened, CT?
No, it's just come. It's the. Just watch the stream. It's great.
I just needed to show the stream this meme, that one of our players very, very kindly created for us. And it's come to fruition. It really has.
Oh, that's great.
So.
Okay, well.
That is good.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Anyhow, just like in Marshall's K22 module, I'm going to save some memes, keep them in the corner, take some funny screenshots with them.
Okay, their orders are to overwhelm the enemy, so here goes.
I just got a message from TAC, or I should say Rommel. I'm not sure if I like that. That's a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. I'll show it to you. He says, "I'm finding you umpires," and so maybe we put a house on the map. That it's gonna be like the Monty Python scene, right?
What?
Where the police come out and arrest all of them.
I mean,
Rommel
Jack can
breaks
come on
the
down, and I'll be waiting for him on my porch with,
Yeah.
I don't know what he means by that. That is very ominous.
Yeah, that's. Whew. Yeah, that's okay. He says that, refuses to elaborate, and just leaves. I don't know. Yikes.
So there's no physical way for these German units to survive, but that's okay. They did their best.
There was an attempt.
Actually, let me go check the Luftland.
Okay. Oh God, this is a pretty difficult thing to balance.
Oh no.
I'm just trying to, I'm toning back some of the battalion commander's aggression on some of these things, because it's literally just like, if they were, it's literally just like, the Germans are just getting dumpstered.
Somebody's got to beat the retreat, at some point. They can't all die brave,
Yeah, they still haven't given orders to vacate Carentan. Okay. All right.
They're gonna. Sam Miller's going to die like a hero in Carentan, and then probably leave half the army without a commander.
The remains of the 6th Fallschirmjäger with him.
Yeah.
Some of your most elite troops.
What?
Don't
bury them in
worry.
Carentan.
The 3rd Fallschirmjäger isn't doing any better.
Now, of course, in their report this turn, they're going to get reports of small arms fire to their rear.
Okay, thank God. The 6th is evacuating after his command is effectively dead, so that's good.
Yay!
916 is done.
The 6th is smart and yeah, fuck this.
Yeah.
No thank
you. Well,
and then probably next turn he's going to get executed by someone.
Okay, that's actually a great question, though. He says evacuate. He does not specify a direction.
I suppose they're going to go in the direction that they think they can get out,
Which would be north, yeah.
North or west.
Question
That's
about
a 50-50 shot.
That is a good 50-50 shot. Okay.
All right, high they go north, low they go west. West.
Oh, they go west. All right, fair enough.
When you're done with that, I have a question about 915.
Sure. Yep.
Did the Americans break through their beach defenses?
Here they did. Yep.
Okay, because his order is when the Allies break through the last defenses, begin to withdraw inland. And so was that his beach defenses, or is this his beach defenses? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
I
If
think
this was his beach defense, then I think he means he wants.
we'll report this, and that this is starting to be enveloped, and we'll see what he does with that.
Yeah, that. Wait, does he just have one battalion on that area? Because otherwise, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he has one battalion on the beach.
Okay, that makes slightly more sense.
I mean, it looks to me like they've already broken through, so I would say that they should start withdrawing now, if that's his order.
I think what he means though specifically is that he wants the people on the beach to start withdrawing inland, but we'll see what he does with that. I mean, he only would realize that the beach defenses have been broken at the end of the turn anyway. So,
all right, I'll give him that report.
It's another thing I need to roll for. Where's a d20?
I'm gonna start sending reports to the Americans that landed.
Yeah,
this is 0630, right?
That's correct. 0630.
I need a d20. So,
they called
the
18.
The sneaky Germans managed to break into the artillery park.
Oh, these guys. Yeah. Oh boy.
Let me. Okay, so I was gonna say high they sneak in, low they're spotted. So they're spotted. So this engineer company spotting it, are going to rush over and intercept.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
So that's gonna be a rude awakening for good old.
They were about to be like a fox in a chicken coop until the farmer got there.
Yep.
Dang. That would have been funny if that one company ran in there, started taking out artillery batteries, and almost
gutting
captured
down
the Ridgeway.
artillerymen. Yeah.
That would have changed.
Well, the order
history.
was if they can't use it, they should destroy it. So it's like, destroy. Destroy sounds good.
Destroy sounds like something I'd like to do. Yeah.
Okay, so
that would be rather comedic.
Right. So that means we now have to deal with this.
Okay.
Okay, so the heroes of Carentan, Pioneer Company.
Yeah.
How many Americans are they taking with them?
Come on, pioneers! You can do it. You can do it.
Oh no, wait. Oh, hang on.
Oh, I was gonna say that was a pretty good result for them, but Uh-oh. Come on, pioneers. Come on. A 9!
Oh, but
the
Americans finally got stuff together.
Ah. Hey,
So,
Easy Company rolled the best.
Yeah. So that means.
And that's the Easy Company, by the way. Richard Winters. That's him. So.
Ooh, that does
in case
force
you were wondering where he is.
Fox Company to rout, though.
The Easy Company was in 2nd Battalion?
Yeah.
Yeah, all Easy Companies were in 2nd
Abel, Baker,
Battalion.
Charlie, Dog, Fox, Easy.
Yeah, Easy Company is 2nd Battalion, 506th Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne Division. Sorry, 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment is the technical language.
And another one goes to the dead pile.
Oof. Those pioneers, they put up one hell of a fight.
Now about I want to say 3/4 of the 6th Fallschirmjäger are dead now.
Yeah.
Or close to.
It's hard to imagine. I mean, if I can, I'm going to spawn in my saved for the 6th, not for the 91st. Yeah, here we go. So, so that is what the 6th Fallschirmjäger Regiment looked like at the beginning of the game. 3 battalions, 4 companies per battalion, plus the pioneers. And now
they're down to these guys.
Now it's 5 companies. And, well, actually, no, it's 4 companies. 4 companies plus the AT, plus some divisional assets that got attached to them.
Yep.
4 companies. They've got.
Actually, technically, these
is-
guys are also.
Oh right, yeah, 5 companies. Okay.
But they are all alone and like in the middle of the Americans, basically. So.
Yeah. So they've got a battalion, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the Germans signed up for this game knowing full well that some of them are going to get slapped around like that. You know, so kudos to the German players for really sticking through with it. 6 Fallschirmjäger commander has been one of our most active players, and that's ugly.
Unfortunate.
That
yeah.
And you probably should have rolled a
no, they're
D12.
combat engineers.
But
like they're highly trained, but they're not equipped for full-on combat duty. So
true.
That still though they just slap around the Germans and stop them from getting close to the perimeter.
Ow, that's ugly. That's insult to injury. Wow.
352 has posted no new orders. What kind of update should he get?
Whatever he hears in his general area, if anything.
He is currently parked on the road in the middle of nowhere.
Well, actually, he's sitting in the church, so he probably hears artillery fire to his south and to his west.
Yeah.
But not even God can make the Allied airplanes go away.
Right.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to ask y'all's opinion on. Do you think the Allied Air Force would spot this column that's like 5 kilometers long?
Probably.
Starting to get the Kiev column vibes here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the main question is whether or not they assume that's an Allied column.
It definitely isn't. They aren't supposed to be that far east.
Yeah, the pilots. I mean, I don't know if the pilots would opportunistically strafe it, but I mean, they would definitely in an hour or so, the intelligence guys would realize that if there is a column moving in that direction, that must be the enemy.
Well, I'm going to roll, and if it hits a 10, I'm going to say there's a bunch of Yankee cowboys up there that say, hey, I want to shoot at that.
Yeah.
Okay, look, CT, I'm going to point out that from a pilot's perspective, everything on the ground is an enemy, okay?
That is very...
They rolled a 10 anyway.
Well, that means, yeah, I need some fire effects.
Let's see. Where's that clip from The Longest Day of the guy getting strafed?
Yeah.
We should include that in this guy's report.
So I'm not gonna apply any damage right now, but next turn, you better believe. As the P-51s turn over. Some Tempest come down.
How do you like iron bombs?
Yeah, it's not going to be fun. So they're going to move at a reduced rate, for sure.
Oh, you don't say.
Troops dive for cover. Oh, God. We're being shot at from the air.
So I haven't been able to find a clip on YouTube of that scene, but I have found an awesome A-10 Thunderbolt 2 Burt compilation. Maybe we put that down instead. Same effect, right?
Yeah, same effect. Yeah.
Sounds a little bit different, just a little bit. But
I mean, yeah, same difference though.
Right. Yeah, I mean, what's the it's not that big. All right.
Well, it would make a difference if you're British, but that's a different subject.
This is true. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was supposed to be sending reports. Duh.
Yeah, you should also do that. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Let me
important.
stop getting distracted. How about that?
There's so much cool stuff to look at this on this board.
Right.
So much drama happening at once. Okay. So
Yeah, that is one of the things that's kind of a little bit unfortunate about the about the regimental scale command is that there are a lot of really cool stories that just don't quite get passed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, isn't that kind of like, isn't that kind of pretty cool? Right? You know how like every single player in this game has his own little story. Right? And they're all going to I'm sure that they're all going to have a blast telling it after the game's over, Like what was D-Day like from this perspective, right? And so for 6 Fallschirmjäger, it's going to be it's going to be a hectic tale, and for some other guys and the con sector that aren't getting attacked at all, it's going to be I was just sitting around, and then everywhere in between.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure if third Fallschirmjäger will remember this quite as well, because the sixth had some interesting decisions to make. Right now it just seems like the third is just getting just absolutely destroyed, and they're just kind of trying to fix the leaks, like not really putting together the fact that they're being attacked by an entire corps.
Well,
So,
I mean, yeah, you don't have the big picture. I mean,
yeah.
all becomes is what can you fix? It's like, well, I can fix this. That's what you focus on. I do that all the If you ever start streaming like Napoleonic games, Carter, I could tell you a story I'm having right now about a game I'm in. Just ugh.
which game am I in it or no?
No, don't believe so.
Is that John's game or no?
It's John's, yeah.
Yeah.
His Napoleonic campaign one, yeah.
What was the second company that 914 was referring to?
Okay.
Was that second 352 up here?
Yeah, it's these guys.
Oh, okay. So those guys are under his command. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them are. Some of them.
All
are.
right. So they are still holding out.
Oh yeah. But probably this report, the commander of them is saying, goodbye and good luck. I'm destroying my radio set. We're about to be overrun. That kind of thing.
Yeah, und das Vaterland, yeah. Okay, so 6 Fallschirmjäger is getting out of there. Luftlande and Corps Commander is not so well. Okay.
Right, now it's time to do some combat.
For the 505th.
D10. Ah, no!
Uh-oh.
Oh, see? Now that's what I'm talking about. 505th actually drew a picture. It's so good. Thank you. Who's that? Jeremy B. Fun. Gold star for Jeremy B. Thank you. Your orders are clear, concise, and you even gave me a reference. Yes, please. More of this.
We can only enjoy that so often, CT, before we get spoiled,
I know, but I want to be spoiled, damn it.
Oh, we grow complacent.
But not complacent, just improve discipline.
Yeah, I have one player that seems to think that every order phase he needs to recount his entire plan for the operation for like the next 4 days, and his order always has like 8 or 9 points, and I'm like, this is absurd. There are way too many lines on this map that you've given me.
Yeah, true.
Ouch. 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 Well, they route.
Which one was it which German was it that got fucked up on the beach? Didn't one of the Germans get fucked up on the beach, or am I misremembering?
No, yeah. So that would be
Yeah.
9:15, and that would have been
Right. Oh, okay. That's where they broke through. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so those got. Okay, so they just. Okay, so the
Alright.
so A company is just. Yeah, they're just done with this shit.
I would be
Nah,
at
I'm
a
out.
certain point.
They
I'm gonna
got
head out.
they were trying to flank around a bunker and they got just absolutely smashed by a German company and then this turn they just got smashed again, so they're just they've just ran but in turn this German company does get pushed back and will take 1 damage.
Man, it's gonna be weird in Carentan. Like the first turn in almost 4 to 5 hours that no artillery is landing in it. Uh, oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Or so. All right. Once again, to decide the soul of
Okay.
Carentan.
Uh-oh.
Good. Ooh. Wow. The Germans actually came up on top on that, I think. Yeah.
Oh. Well, there you have it.
Americans, Germans, yeah.
Ouch! Again.
Good lord.
6 Fallschirmjägers fighting like lions. My goodness.
Yeah, yeah. 4 companies holding back 6.
Okay, well, at
Jeez.
least First Battalion's doing the 6th Fallschirmjäger proud. The Germans do have yeah, those tanks are in close support. So and the Germans do have like
I mean, yeah, tanks are tanks. You know, no matter how many
anti-tank weapons.
oil-covered socks you throw in its tracks. I mean,
Well, yeah. Just what I'm thinking is sometimes there will be times where a tank will take damage and it's like you know, maybe that should be like it rolls poorly, like in this case it was a 10 versus a 2, and it's like, well, maybe they shouldn't take 8 points of damage you know, from an infantry company with no anti-tank guns, but in this case they're in close support, so
I mean, if it
probably
was like
wouldn't.
that, if it was like a 12 against a 1, I would consider that. But like if it's in that range, it's kind of like, well, paratroopers don't have any like dedicated anti-tank, but there are ways of getting around that.
Yeah, well, what I'm thinking is that I mean these guys are a motorized division. I mean they're not paratroopers anymore. Nobody in the German army is actually dropping out of a plane after Crete.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Fallschirmjäger are heavy infantry now. Because of course the Luftwaffe needs to have its own infantry. That only makes sense.
And they need to have tanks, you know.
Yes. Okay, I've done. I think everyone under 352 has reports. By the way,
Okay.
if anyone else has,
Did you
sorry,
actually
yes.
move the paratroopers, like the 101st?
No, I did not move them. I just wrote out their orders.
Okay. Would you mind starting to resolve that? That'd be great.
Yes. Have you resolved the Germans? Otherwise, did you take care of the
Everything
10?
short of these guys here.
Okay.
There should be continued artillery fire into Saint-Mary-Église, these heavy guns here. Yeah, but other than that,
Also, if you need to write out a German radio message from someone who is about to destroy his radio, the German code for closing down this station is CL, as in Charlie Lima, which goes at the end of the message.
interesting.
I know this because that was the final transmission from Army Group 6 in Stalingrad.
Interesting.
Which was, the Russians are outside the bunker, I am destroying my radio, CL. And then the final transmission, there are actually 3 final transmissions from Stalingrad, depending on what criteria you use. The last transmission from a combat unit was the 24th Panzer 2 days later, which just goes, the Russians are entering, static, fighting, static, tractor works, end of signal.
Oh.
And then, for some reason, like 4 hours after that, the 6th Army Weather Station gave their normal report, which is like a full thing, like the Wolkenhohe 5000 Meter 6 Kilometer greetings to the homeland, and then just signs off normally.
Wow.
A high chance of Russian artillery.
Cloudy with a chance of shells.
Okay, so no!
Uh-oh. It appears
Oh, no,
one of our umpires is deceased.
I was just rolling for a thing, and then I was mousing over to see how much damage
You know,
the units
I'm
have. Turns out that's
looking at
not a
this
great idea. So it just throws things everywhere.
So these 915 and 916 guys down here, whose command are they under? Like these, like over here, are like 3 different battalions, or 3 different brigades.
They're all kind of up. Like at this point, you know, they're gonna take advice from their regimental commanders, but that's basically a Kampfgruppe. That's a task force. So whoever the senior commander in there is, probably the assault battalion commander.
Okay, the Americans are withdrawing. Should the Germans pursue or not?
Probably based on their instructions, they're waiting for reinforcements to press the attack. So they're gonna.
Yes, they were waiting for 91st.
Yeah, and so they were also retreating west from Saint-Mary-Église. So they're gonna just take this time to consolidate their position.
Okay, so the Americans withdraw without incident then. Okay. North of Saint-Mary-Église, alright.
So just to let you know, Carter, I've already moved this group. Those 3 down there, closer to Carentan.
Which one? Oh, that.
Those 3.
I regret to inform you that I had already done that earlier.
Oh.
So now they are a turn ahead of where they ought to be.
Well, that's fine. I just draw it back a bit.
Okay.
I remember what I did, so.
Okay. Well, thank you. Sorry about that. Should have told you.
Yeah, no problem.
What's the movement rate for light infantry?
Are they just running back or falling back normally?
I'm looking at the other guys in tactical march now.
In tactical march, that's going to be 6 grids.
Okay.
I was about to say, like, not for nothing, like, Carentan's getting to be a bloody mess for the Germans, but if they can hold out until the 1058 get there, I mean,
right?
They might retake Carentan.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, if 1058 orders a quick march, they could be there within the hour. Well, actually, no. That's a lie. That's a lie. But
that's how that works. So.
That's not how the math works. But they could be there in like an hour, if they were going 12 a turn.
Yeah, close to. Yeah.
Yeah. And 1058 Grenadier Commander has no idea just how crucial it could end up being.
Because, there's no way they can get reinforcements across from the east that fast.
Nope.
Yeah. And I mean, again, this is, feels like it keeps coming up. This is where the player's not exactly being great at communicating, is biting them in the ass. So,
I need to find where the hell is 920.
I wonder
Good
why
idea.
22nd Infantry Regiment was the only one to send in their 3rd Battalion first.
That is a bit
Surprised me. I was like, 1st Battalion reports, and then I looked at it and I was like, wait, that's not 1st Battalion. Okay.
Okay, I need to find out where the heck Treviere is.
Oh, well, that's so the. Oh no, wait, that's okay. No, that's okay. So the 327th units have been ordered to continue their attack on the units that the 502nd is currently withdrawing from. So since the commander is there, I'm going to notify him like now that the rest of the Americans are withdrawing before he suicidally attacks like entire Kampfgruppe.
Okay. I just gave Rommel's report. Nothing too fancy, but just kind of surreal that Rommel is getting a report of small arms fire east of his HQ.
So, where the... Oh, to Treviere. What do I just... Duh. They'll be able to get there in this hour. Half hour.
oh, that's adorable. Rommel called for the Luftwaffe like it's gonna do anything.
Well, I mean, I think in like a few turns we'll bring in like the 4 squadrons that were actually there. Like on D-Day. Because there were a few, most of them got turned back. But I mean, obviously, there's that famous story of the 2109 strafing, what was it, gold?
They were 190s.
Oh, they were 190s? Yeah, okay. Oh, they were 109s.
In the movie, they were some kind of trainer that they painted to look like.
Right, obviously. It's like not even close.
I believe they used Spanish BF-109s.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, true.
Which I think did have like a second seat, but they also used those in the Battle of Britain.
Yeah. Same with the Heinkels, too. I think they were Spanish Heinkels.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that takes care of everything Carentan-wise. Movement. Let me go ahead and save here.
Okay.
And I'll start making reports.
Okay, so 327 is awaiting. I'm awaiting his reply on what he wants to do in response to his comrades retreating.
We don't really have time to have him respond to that.
Okay.
He's just gonna
Well,
have
in
to
that
fall
case,
back.
I'm gonna rule it.
Self-preservation.
Yeah, bake.
Or I say we don't have time. I don't have time. I've got trivia night tonight, so
It's fine. I mean, I don't mind answering him if he changes his mind. Like, I'm just going to move them back for now because that's obviously what he's going to do. But I mean, I'm going to give him the chance to reply.
yeah.
And if he doesn't, I'm just going to say Baker. He tells Baker Company to fall back.
Yeah, makes sense.
Does his one of his companies was routed? Where is that company now? Like, I think they were taken off the map or something.
So there's this Able company. They've been across the
there's
river the whole time.
okay. One of them,
This was the routed
Charlie
company, I think.
broke. Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah.
so they are no longer routed.
That's right.
How do I take that route off them?
You just right-click, change the name. Here, I'll do it.
Okay, that'd be good.
There you go. Okay. And I'm going to take the opportunity to put another meme down. Our players have been very, very good about creating memes
Memes are the best.
for the game.
Let me see it. Wish to observe the meme.
If I can find it. Oh no, he put it in his orders channel. That's right. Where's 4th SSB? Come on.
Are you sure you want to retreat there, buddy?
Oh no.
Okay, all right, okay.
Retreat. We're just advancing in another direction.
No, okay. So they're gonna not do that because that would be stupid. Yeah, that makes sense. Why he would order that. I had forgotten to put that in the report. So, yeah. I was just seeing his initial orders because I forgot to put a really devastating naval bombardment that happened was to retreat through the town that was getting bombarded. And so thankfully for him, he changed that afterwards. So those guys can make it.
Did you already moved 1057? You said.
That's right.
Okay.
The Germans on the other side of the river. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about what happens on the other side of the river.
Okay, so those guys only get there after these guys leave. Huh?
Yep. Oh, they're leaving?
He ordered them to move south and join this fight, so they are displacing before these guys. They notice these guys approaching.
Oh, baby. Germans are going to come around and hit them in the back. That's going to be fun.
That's what we call an oopsie.
Yeah.
Nah. It's got the big red one helmet.
Yeah. In fact, let me because it's these guys were not having the greatest time, so put it next to them.
Stand be on the first encounter with you. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah. We love it when our players make memes. Players, if you're watching this, A, you're not supposed to be. But
why are you
B,
doing that?
Please at least make good memes.
Mm-hmm.
We love seeing them.
Yeah, if you can make good memes, you're already like halfway there to being like
A master
a great
player.
general. Yeah.
Yeah. I am the very model of a modern major general. I make the memes. I don't know where I'm going with that.
It's very hard to think of a rhyme real fast, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow. That's actually...
Do you know where the bridge that this other 327 unit down here is supposed to be taking is? It said the bridge Le Moitre en Barbtois. Le Moitié en Barbtois.
I would love if they just give us freaking pictures.
I think that means this bridge.
Aren't they moving the other direction right now though? Or are they supposed to be oriented? I don't know.
I thought they were supposed to be going to Carentan.
I mean, for like the last 5 turns, he just said take the bridge, but the original bridge he meant was bridge Le Moitre in Barbtois.
Yeah, so that's going to be this bridge.
Okay, so that's where they should be going.
They already.
I-
You can tell him that they already took it and are moving on to Carentan, and then he can be
Oh.
like, "Oh shit! There's no turn
Yes,
around."
okay. He was told a while ago that the artillery already are passing through Baupta, which I assume is the same as Bauptois,
Yeah.
as we speak. And then he said, continue towards the bridge. And then
I
we told him
told him
later
where
they've
he
just reached
was.
La Champagne. Okay, I'll tell him
I
that
am
they are.
blameless in
I'll
this.
tell him that their battalion commander is requesting clarification.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, hold up. We're passing through Cantepi, and that don't make no sense. We already passed through there, man. Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay, let's return to. Okay. Okay, I don't know why you're doing that. That unit could be really useful. I don't know why you just.
Okay.
Where
Have we
is-
moved all the units? Or are we just sending reports now?
Yeah, I've moved all mine. over here.
I think I still have a couple to move in the Americans up here.
Okay.
I'm
That's
just going
fine.
to finish B-27 first.
Just writing reports.
Yeah, you're all good.
Okay.
I need to make another meme where it's like 2 plans enter, no plans leave. You know. But these memes are contemporary and good, so we like those. We like those around here. No Velociraptor memes, you know, those are kind of stale.
That's from like 2006.
Right. And like, yeah, they're actually rotten now. I mean, like, they probably decomposed. Fossilized, even.
Out.
I apologize.
You don't sound very sorry.
I have made a big and continuous mistake. Just Logan Paul apology video. Just, you know.
How do you give the grid references on here? Like which number is
It's-
on the?
Kind of hard to read.
I think you're supposed to give latitude then longitude, right? I could be completely wrong. I have no idea. I
I've
never
been
give
reading
grid
it
references.
by just
by up,
vertical
down,
line.
and then left, right.
Yeah, vertical line
Okay.
and horizontal line.
Yeah, I just don't give. I give screenshots and place names because these guys aren't going to be constantly checking their grid reference. You know, they're going to be
Well, If
checking
you look
this.
at the 91st,
Yeah, well, battalion commanders are going to say, "I see the road sign that says Saint-Mère-Église." They're not going to be like constantly looking back down at their map and using their compass and calculating their exact position using a sextant. You know.
Oh no, but I'm giving him that because just in case he
I-
has trouble finding the town
Yeah,
name. Because
I point you to try checking out the 91st Luftwaffe channel and scroll up and just see the artillery.
Oh yeah, I mean
course.
like that
The
guy.
players do love ordering the artillery to shell coordinates.
He loves it.
I hate it when they do that because, like, if they did that for the Iwo Jima game, by the way, I think we streamed that Iwo Jima game. You can check it out. It was kind of fun.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Maybe? I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
Are you streaming then even?
I'm streaming this.
Well, this, but what Iwo Jima feels like it was a while ago now.
Yeah, but for that one, we actually used an artillery targeting or artillery target map, right? Where they had
awesome.
all of the they had all of the grids, and then all of the sectors within the grids were labeled A through F or whatever. I think.
Yeah.
And so, it was, you know, like if they wanted to call in artillery, they could actually do that, you know, because it was the actual map that you were supposed to do that on. But this isn't an artillery targeting map. Each one of these is a square kilometer. You know? So
Well, there's also like it's also it's like the numbers that make up the grid squares. It's
Yeah, I mean, like, you can do decimals to get a little bit more specific, but it's just like, at a certain point, just say shell the area. Like, we've got forward observers here, shell that area, right? Like, okay, support 5th Company with the artillery. I can do that. That's easy. I can read that order and start throwing dice. But then it's like, I start so they might as well freaking encode it in Enigma, when they start getting into like, oh my goodness. That's my pet peeve. I'm sorry.
And then the players think they're being really clever by like ordering specific ammunition usage, and it's like,
yeah, I'm rolling 1 dice anyway. Like,
Well,
you ordered
I will-
smoke.
I will-
Okay, I'll put some smoke down, and now you don't get any dice. It's
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll just say for land combat stuff, it doesn't usually matter unless you like want to do something specific. Like smoke, I could actually see. Like in Carentan, they created like a smoke screen, so like I just didn't show them that part of the map, which could be something interesting if you want to cover your retreat. But it's like not really planned that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very hard to coordinate that stuff as it is in real life.
Okay, I think I've done all of my reports.
Okay. How about you, CT?
I'm still doing my reports of them.
Yeah. All right. No problem. I'm gonna quickly send the reports to the 709th units over here. Or actually, I'm gonna do West Cotentin and Con tomorrow, I think.
Oh yeah,
I can get on like late tomorrow evening to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. In that case, is there anything else for me to do before I head out?
As long as all the reports are sent, then you should be good.
I believe so. Alright.
All right. Cheers, gents.
Good night.
That was a good reporting session. Now, I'm going to save it before I forget. That'd be a disaster of the highest order if I forgot to save it now. What is it, 0630? Yeah.
I'll just go hop in it. Single player instance and keep making reports so you can go play. What was it you were going to do?
Trivia.
Trivia. I was about to say bingo for some reason.
Well, bingo, trivia, old
Same
person's homes, it all goes together.
I mean, listen, man, we're pouring ourselves over a freaking map of France in 1944, recreating D-Day.
Okay.
I mean, we're already old. Let's not play games here.
you know what? Okay. Yeah. I'll do what he asks. The battalion commander's just gonna yell at him.
As is his right. Hey,
one of these
dumbass.
days we should do like a battalion commander copy pasta where like if the
What the hell did you just say to me, you little...
yeah I'll
It's
have
one
you
of
know
those.
that I went to Sandhurst too.
I'll have you know that my role is to actually coordinate these companies.
I qualified top of my
Stay
class.
the fuck out.
West Point, 1938.
I'll have you know that I have 100 confirmed kills today. Like
Yeah, no, that would be funny. Yeah.
yeah. Oh man. And then like just insert like we'll just do an ad lib where it's like the copy pasta, but then we'll have like fill in the blank of like, what did the guy order that was stupid? Put that in there and then I think that could be pretty funny if we have a battalion commander copy pasta. And that'll really, we've been saying, right, we need to drive home the players that they shouldn't just micro companies, right? They need to tell battalion commanders what to do, and then the battalion commanders will relay that to their company commanders. And so that'll be a fun way of basically humanizing their battalion commanders.
Right. Well, to be completely fair, Carter, like, it's very unlikely I'm ever going to do this extensive level ever again.
You mean like do a D-Day style game ever again?
From army down to freaking company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's too many cooks in the kitchen. I'm just going to say it.
We're doing platoons next time.
Yeah, well, you're making the pieces for that one, bud.
I mean, there were, people talking about, like, going to Normandy and getting 150,000 people together, right? To actually do one-to-one scale.
If you were a trillionaire, but I'm not a trillionaire, Carter. And
Come
let's,
on, we'll get
no,
Elon Musk on board. Come on. He's done
That's
crazier stuff before.
No, let's also tell your viewers, Carter. What are you doing after this? What's your project? Your next big one after this? Tell them.
That one's only 20 players.
Carter, it's the entire Civil War.
It's only 20 players.
This man has decided that he is going to recreate the entirety of the American Civil War. The entirety. From Florida to Maine to Wisconsin to Texas and everywhere in between.
I mean,
all I'm saying, Carter, is just like, just have a vacation one of these days. I worry. Is all I'm saying.
The problem is that when I go on vacation, I get bored and come up with this crap. So going on vacation is the last thing I need to do in order to stop having these ideas. Because then I'm like...
I'm more afraid of the fact that you have both Alex and Damon on your umpire team.
Well, they're not quite on the umpire team. They're kind of like helping develop the concept along with TAC.
Like Alex's last game was like an 80-player Napoleonic, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you plus him equals, oh, God. You're going to, like, go knocking on the door of, like, West Point, like, hey, can we have, like, $100,000?
Hey, West Point, if you're listening, I'm all ears.
To do our stupid internet things.
Listen, if you're getting $100,000, I want at least like a quarter of that for developing the system. That's all I'm saying. Okay,
Yeah.
it fit.
Yeah. We'll negotiate the terms with the boys at West Point. I got my connections, right?
Yeah, no, you're just like,
Yeah,
I
sure.
want to recreate World War II, and I want it to be at platoon level.
See, what we need to do is if I got West Point on board, what we do is we print out the D-Day maps on like,
Yeah, just
on like tarp and lay
tarp
them out
just
on the
roll
parade deck or on the football field,
across
right?
like a floor. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what we do is we'd get all of the students to dress up in the uniform of a specific company.
Oh God.
And then we'd just, like the human chess pieces, right? We'd order them to step from one place to another.
No,
right?
no. No, I thought you were going with like we're gonna make them dress up as commander, and then they push the pieces around on the board.
When they graduate they can graduate to that, right? First they have to be the grunts, and then they can. It would be great hazing, like for the seniors to be the generals, and then the
Okay, you two would encounter each other. Okay, have a fist fight. Go.
Yeah.
Whoever wins, that company wins.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any problem.
It's kind of crazy that I kind of want to do like a true double blind umpire game, like 3 rooms, 3 big maps, like just roll out across the floor and just like run a game like that. It's just like,
Actually, one of my professors at college contacted me this summer about starting a wargaming club at my college. And so we're hopefully going to try and do a proper, like old-fashioned, get 3 rooms, 1 umpire room, 2 player rooms, right? And do that kind of thing. So, fingers crossed. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that might be a forum to play out some of the Civil War campaign battles, where an army commander submits written orders to a corps commander. And then that corps commander happens to be one of my classmates. And so, hand that letter to him.
Don't make me have to fly out there. I've got disposable income too, bud. I will do it.
Wait, disposable income? I don't make any money off of this. I don't pay money to do this.
I mean, for, like, to fly myself out there, because I'm not going to ask you to pay for it. Come on. That's just rude.
Yeah, but you said like me, implying that I spend money on this. No, I spend time.
No, I said I have disposable income, but I didn't say like you. I mean, I don't know what you're saying.
You like me? Wait, hold on.
Shut up.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
Now you're just talking in circles, Carter.
Personally, I prefer talking in squares, but like.
Okay, I'm gonna leave now. Streamers. I hope you enjoy listening to this madman as he literally tries to recreate every war ever fought in history.
Look, at a certain point, I. So CT, I shouldn't say this out loud, but
no, you
before I was thinking of doing the entire Civil War, I was thinking of doing like I had a world map from 1939.
Oh my god.
Like a high detail,
not quite high detail, but like basically it would have been you're moving core around, right? And it would have been World War II at that level. Like World War II period, end of sentence, right? Like that would have been. It would have been like the Civil War, but it would have been. But I was looking at it, and I was looking at the stuff, and I was like, "This is kind of not really what I'm interested in," And so the Civil War is kind of more familiar terrain in terms of kind of. I think the Civil War also, like when you're doing it operationally, there's a lot more. It's a lot more interesting. You can keep it a lot more. You can keep it a lot simpler, right? Because basically player X says, I want my army to march over here. And you can just move it there, right? It's not that hard. So, whereas World War II, it's like, there were all sorts of different things that were popping up that I'd have to deal with. And I was like, nah. So, CT, I say that because I did actually, like, think of something and then stop. So
I mean, I need receipts or pics or
you want me to show you? Okay, like I'll show the stream. I made a module for it too.
Of course you did.
Walked that far?
Well, it wasn't that hard. I got Damon to make some scripted pieces, and I just made a template for each country.
Damn it, Damon. Enabling your okay.
Damon's my enabler. I gotta get my fix, man.
So, like, if I said the words to you, core level Korean War game, would that like tick your boxes or?
I told you. I showed you. I got maps.
No, I got maps too.
Yeah, I would definitely be interested. Yeah. So this is, if you're looking at the stream, this is what it looks like. This is the map.
Well, I'm not watching your stream. Sorry.
I'll stream it on Discord. Just so you can see it. I don't want to make you join my game, because you're
right.
So you can see it, but it's fairly detailed.
Well,
it's got some roads marked out, but I see that neither of you have actually tuned in.
No, hang on.
I'm watching your live.
No, here we go.
Okay, yeah, all right. So.
Okay, so it's like a basic. Okay.
Yeah. So it's nothing too special. It's not even like a terrain, but it's like you do the big picture, right? And
they
this
had to make the piece really small.
Yeah, this is what the pieces would look like.
Oh God.
Yeah. Did you see them? Can you see them? Can you see them? But yeah. So but then you
see if you were really committed, you'd like 3D model a globe and do it that way.
Right. I am not nearly that talented. You overestimate my ability. But so you'd place them down like this, and the idea would be that you'd have divisions recruited, and then you'd just this would be a core piece, and so you'd name it I don't know, that would be XXX for core, and then it would be First Army, and then you'd say 30 core, right? And then so then all of a sudden you got 30 core, right? And
you'd just like write on the piece, you know, like, oh, 1st Infantry Division and like 2nd Infantry, you know, and like what it has in it. And then it would have a combat value based on the composition of the corps. And, you know, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I just ran into problems with like, I wanted to, you know, how do you do it?
How do you model everything?
How do you model everything? And I was just like,
Mhm.
it's a little bit beyond my scope. I just thought like, there's nothing that I would be able to do that Hoi 4 doesn't already do. You know, like,
Yeah, that's fair.
You know,
That's
like
fair.
I'm
It's like
not
just-
adding anything to the.
Just play Hoi 4 at that point, yeah.
Yeah, at that point, you're just playing a video game. You know, just play a video game.
Man, as soon as I can figure out.
I've had the idea of doing the South Pacific, like from Guadalcanal to like to the end of Cartwheel. And the one thing that's really stopping me is how the fuck are we gonna do carrier combat?
I've kind of figured out a way to do that, but it kind of takes a little bit to do.
Okay.
So like, it's a matter of like figuring out AA versus the planes, and then like doing a lot of. It's a lot of rolling, but like it does It's like what I used. Like Carter, you'll remember this when I did like that little stuff with Java C. It's like it actually made some like realistic results.
Yeah, it felt like when I was playing the Java C game that CT was running, it felt real. You know, like I felt like I was actually, you know, Jack Fletcher on a carrier, commanding a carrier group, you know, actually making these really hard decisions. Like, do I launch a strike at this target or do I wait, you know, or do I...
Now, to be fair, I think you got the most action out of anybody in that game.
I definitely, I was having a blast. I you know, you gave me a special role, you know.
Also, just for everyone here to remember, it's now on the record. Carter shot down a Australian plane.
I did. He blew our cover, or he was going to.
Yeah.
And I was
shot him out of the sky.
I was under direct orders either to, if I was compromised, return home, and God, I wasn't going to do that. And
those men had families, Carter.
Those men deserve to die. I warned him. I got in radio contact with that plane, and I said, if you report us, I'm going to shoot you down.
Which is exactly the reason he decided to gun his engines and get away.
Right. And then when I started intercepting radio signals coming from that plane, I was like, nope, not taking any chances.
Well, you'd already launched like a cap patrol, which was very good.
Yeah. So my Wildcats just went and shot him down. And I ordered them to try and do it in a manner where like they could crash land it in the ocean and I could pick them up.
Totally. Yeah, just sort of gently shoot him down, you know.
So this is not without proof that people did this. There was an American P-51 fighter on display in the United States. I forget where, that is painted to look like a different P-51, and it has an American flag on its kill board, right? And the reason it has that is because he was flying out of the Philippines, and the C-47 transport plane was carrying a crew of folks, and they were flying somewhere, flying between one place and another, and that he knew that there was a big flight of Japanese planes that was going to be coming through there. So something that would have resulted in them getting shot down. And so he scrambled, went up and tried to warn them, get them to turn around, was waving hand signals and the pilots weren't getting it. And so he ended up going back behind them and with almost laser-like precision, knocked out one engine, knocked out the other, didn't rip off the wings. So they just were able to gently glide it down, ditch in the ocean. And he called in the rescue craft to get him. And it turns out, he saved their lives. And
so I will grant that, of course, with proof, it's obviously something that's not impossible. But you're asking a fighter pilot who has never, ever attempted a maneuver like that before to do that.
Well, I'm not saying that it was likely, but it was the thought that counts.
Right.
It was,
Right.
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 So
That's fair.
and I did order, right, I ordered a destroyer right over there, to go pick them up, right, I tried to cross my T's and dot my I's, I don't want them to die, but I also didn't want the Japanese to intercept radio communications about a carrier group going into the Java Sea.
It is funny enough for you that they never managed to actually get that radio call off. So yeah, they just got reported missing in action, and no one knows what happened to them.
Oh yeah,
until your report finally gets released.
Oh well,
50 years later.
Yeah. When they declassify it, all of a sudden, Admiral Carter McNish canceled after 50 years for.
Yeah. Oh no, this one released in like
disgrace
the 80s. So like the Aussies would have been in a huff about it, but the Americans would be like, so what?
We were coming to save your ass anyway.
Yeah, basically.
Back-to-back World War champs. Let's go. No.
Oh god.
You know what's
it's
one of those things that kind of amazes me is that apparently, when the American Expeditionary Force showed up to France in World War I, the French were, briefing the Americans on basically, how everything is done, right? And Pershing said, okay, and the French were insisting, okay, so your guys are here, let's put them on the front line. And Pershing said, hold up. Most of these guys haven't gotten basic firearms training yet. We need to train them on their rifles, right? Get them proficient. And the French were like, you train your guys on your rifles? Because apparently they'd give them 5 minutes with their gun and a few rounds of ammo to figure out how bolt action guns work. And then they'd throw them in the front line.
Right. I mean, what was the...
Maybe they'd tell them which end the bullets came out.
What was that? The Prussian Napoleonic stat where it's like they get 2 rounds to fire a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just really?
Yeah, and so the French were astonished when Pershing said, "No, I'm going to take 3 months to train my guys on, their rifles and get them proficient." And then they were even more surprised that when American versus German troops were mano a mano, the Americans had a superior base of fire when it was just rifles versus rifles, because they were more accurate. So now, of course, we only had one major offensive in the war, and in that one offensive, we lost 100,000 guys, killed or something like that. Just standard World War I numbers, which was just shocking to the American public. It was like, wait, we started attacking for a month, and how many of our guys died? It's crazy. But
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so I've been busting your chops about all that anyway, but I'm working my way back up to finally do that 1900 sequel game that.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
Yeah. Again, shocking how many people like that, honestly, but want to do it right, so it's got to establish all the right systems first, and
of course, yeah. I think you'll both like the speaking of systems and that kind of thing. I think you'll both enjoy playing the Civil War operational game.
I'm gonna get a kick out of it. Yeah.
I think we're working on the rules at the moment, and we've got basically we already established our big concepts, and now we're starting to get into the particulars of how everything works, and especially right now we're working out the economy. So how are units recruited? How do we equip them with what? Right? What does it require to do all these things?
Mm-hmm.
So there's simultaneously going to be more detail and less detail than you expect, which is
of course
about how it's but
should be.
But yeah, Lincoln, because he's not actually going to be commanding forces in the field, the economy and actually raising troops is going to be his main concern, as well as the political situation. And so we're going to have an in-depth system of it requires this resource to get these things, and that kind of thing. And there will be places where those are produced, and all that stuff. So
kind of like Grand Tactician.
Yeah, a lot like that.
It's exactly what he used as an example. So
yeah. I think basically, whereas when I was working on my World War II operational thing and I realized that I shouldn't do it, the main consideration was I could just do this as a video game, right? There's video games that do this. with the Civil War thing, I realized there isn't a video game that does this, right? There isn't a video game like Grand
Not
Tactician,
fully, no.
as great as it isn't multiplayer, right?
Right.
And I want to see PvP, you know.
Like, Grand Tactician's great, but like it's great strategically, it's great tactically, but the operations side of the game is a little bit
It's
lacking.
limited, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
very
this will be a lot of that.
Sometimes when units just retreat through each other, like I had this one thing where I basically I recreated frickin' Ulm, and then the unit just retreated, the army just retreated out, and I played it through, and I got like 3,000 casualties on the whole pursuit, and it was like I feel like I shouldn't have even bothered.
Yeah. Now, as much as I'd love to keep this conversation going, I should go soon. However, Sean, mind if I take a look at your St. Lo table to show the stream what's going on there?
No, let's let me just save it.
No, you're not allowed.
Yeah. No, but he's disconnected.
Yep.
Actually, like you never get that save. Yeah, I bet you weren't expecting that.
CT, how many people are how many slots are there? Oh my god. Don't. Oh my
Huh?
god. Steam, why are you being like this?
Got it. Believe in you.
It's let me try rebooting tabletop. How many spaces are there on that Dogger Bank thing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if we're going to fit everybody in, because
Okay.
if all 15 show up, well, I mean, I've only got so many flotillas. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just because I have some friends in a Discord that I think would really enjoy that, and I didn't know if I don't want to hype them up to come in and be like,
Right.
yeah,
I will say, I'd be more than happy to run it again once I've run it the first time, if it goes well, because it's something I'm collabing with another guy on.
And just for
So I'm
those, for the benefit of those on the stream, that's going to be the first Naval Open Saturday that we're having, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So
Just
stay tuned
kind
for
of
the
weird.
Open Saturday stream, guys. That's
Well,
going to be interesting.
Are you gonna be there, Carter?
No, but I think Marshall will. He better be.
Right. Marshall also streamed. I forgot.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
that's gonna be
streaming on
very
Marshall's channel. I'm a guest.
Oh.
The
I
IKS
thought you
channel
were
is basically Marshall's channel, anyway.
I mean, yeah, I know his YouTube one though, so I didn't think you streaming was his as well. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we're definitely gonna get like Marshall and like some of the more regular guys. We're gonna do our best, because there's quite a few commands actually for Dogger Bank.
yeah.
Because you need like an overall admiral, then each,
And
each
pick the
battle
newest
group.
guy.
Sean,
Just
what's the game info?
Steam is not liking me,
Oh, okay. Then
so I'm streaming it through Discord.
all right. Let's see if I can.
Yeah.
Work it out here. Do.
So yeah, I'll say, Sean, like definitely show up if you can. If there's not a spot, then me and Peter will probably be happy to have folks help us
Let me see if I
umpire
can
to
find a way.
learn it
Yeah.
a bit.
Here we go.
Because again, it's based off the system I developed, and then Peter developed it further for like his own stuff. So
All right. So, sorry, I hate to interrupt again.
no, go ahead. You got stuff to.
Yeah. So what's the situation here in San Lo? Can you give us the lowdown?
Okay, so overall, things are going horrifyingly bad for the Germans. Like very not good. One thing. So as you can see in Granville, things are, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I have decided, because I cannot find the point that the player wanted this company to entrench at. The battalion commander is going to yell at him, call him a moron, um,
Fly.
and use the company the way he thinks is appropriate.
Try to break
Um,
them out.
Yes,
Yeah.
because he ordered a breakout, and I was like, okay. Like, I even preemptively moved the company because, like, that's what you do when you break out. You have units
On both sides.
to help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, he wanted them to entrench at some point that I couldn't find. So the battalion commander is gonna yell at him to get out of his business, and you know,
Busy trying to save my battalion here, buddy.
yeah. And then here is another. This is the one where the radios didn't work.
Mm.
And because I did plot this out, and they did have enough movement to fully encircle, but I decided that would not be. I decided to be nice to the Germans, and basically I ruled that they didn't find the flank.
Mm. Makes sense.
But yeah, as you can see, there are British battalions just marching up undefended beaches
Yep.
because one division was, finally, the 50th Division over here is going into combat. Well, they will be soon-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. They've spent all this time marching. They haven't even.
Yeah. Okay,
Wow.
so this is where the 69th Battalion landed. Yeah, it's 4 kilometers.
Yeah. Jeez. By the way, I should say the tide's going up. So at this point in time, I think about a third of the distance from the ocean to the main shoreline is now covered in water. So just go ahead and factor that in to your considerations going forward
Okay.
for the next wave.
All right.
So they
Yeah,
so
I mean,
specifically the
yeah.
50th division won't have to travel quite as far.
Yeah. And then like the Germans basically the 5th Fallschirmjäger Division reacted what I think is appropriate. I haven't quite finished this stuff, but basically he seems to want to basically retreat and then stand at Lassay, which is probably better than just dying in 1 or 2 company packets.
Yeah.
The one bright spot for the Germans has been this bunker down here.
Mm.
Yeah, they managed to drive off this British unit.
Whew.
And these guys have not been getting it pretty. These tanks are, but there is a second wave.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I've been that's really helped the British is these tanks for assaulting the bunkers. So I've ruled that if the units have armored support, they can move at full speed. Else this would have been a lot bloodier than it was. So.
True. Yeah, because they could just hide behind the tanks as they move forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But as you can kind of overall see, the regiment is the division is kind of getting broken up like this. And then there's this whole regiment in the center that's not really fighting.
Right.
Because they decided to defend the beaches.
Interesting.
And notably, from a command perspective, 51st Division is wanting to land its artillery. and I think that the beach is now secure enough that that can probably start.
Yeah, I mean the Granville battery, right, is totally out of
Yeah.
action. Even if it were still alive, I think it's been added to the dead pile. Is that right? Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes.
Yeah. So even if it were still around, it would be busy defending itself. So it's effectively neutralized. It would be, but it already is literally neutralized. So yeah, there's nothing stopping the British at this point from landing artillery and support units on the beach. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Other than their landing craft capacity, they still need to get the rest of their infantry ashore before they can start really throwing artillery ashore.
yeah, and then the other thing is that the Corps commander has been talking about landing 7th Armored.
Early.
Yeah.
Very early.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing on this beach.
Right. Yeah. See, if I were the Corps commander at this point, I'd be thinking about landing the Canadians, but that's just because I'm biased. You know.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we should punish 30 Corps for not landing the Canadians in the first set of landings. But hey, you know, I'm not the umpire of this sector.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I've been trying to resist not punishing the Germans too harshly because you see this, okay? This is all it's all like 3rd Battalion, you know, this makes
Right.
sense. Except for this is 2nd Battalion. Yes, and then this is, you know, 1st Battalion because why not?
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to resist taking my anger out.
Yep. Well, I should probably... Trivia's in an hour. I should probably get some dinner. And I don't want to keep the folks on the stream watching for too long. Usually like to keep it around 2 hours, and we're a little bit over that now, but that's not a problem. Thank you guys for helping me umpire, and thank you to the folks watching the stream. We will see you tomorrow, hopefully with the West Carentan and Caen resolution. And yeah, should be a good time.